Um, so I'm gonna put my opinion out on some Mandela effect videos that are really concerning to me. Concerning is in the way of makes me question whether or not I've sort of jumped realities or shifted realities, if you will. Um, I'm out in Nevada right now. I just moved here from Indianapolis not too long ago. I was born in Anaheim. Just tell you a little bit about me. So I've been from West Coast to East Coast and 26 years old. So um, a lot of my life, a lot of these Mandela effects that I have seen being explained, certain changes, almost supernatural, if you will, unexplainable phenomenon is what it is what I call it. I don't call it a conspiracy theory, but I call it a phenomenon. Um, in some ways, some people would refer to that as a miracle, which is something unexplainable that happens. But I don't know. This, there's no way that you can justify the changes that have been made good and not link that to CERN because I've done a lot of research on CERN. Um, it's really fascinating. You should look it up and keep keep this Mandela effect in mind while you keep an open mind. And I could put more information about this for those that actually want to know. And before I get started with some of these changes that I have been affected by, I'd like to say that I know I'm going to sound crazy for the people that don't know about this or that haven't experienced what I've experienced. It's going to sound crazy. And it is what it is. So, one of the biggest ones, probably the biggest one that I was affected by was the stovetop stuffing. Um, had it throughout my childhood growing up, through my adulthood, my teen years, and through my adulthood, whenever I would be at Thanksgiving, um, my family and who I was associated with going to their houses always served stuffing. Um, some put a different twist on it, but basically the foundation of the stuffing was always um, the brand Stouffer's stovetop stuffing with the red spoon. So I specifically remember that because it was just kind of a different name, so it kind of just stuck, and I ended up making myself associated with that because of the holidays, and for it to be have never ever anywhere been it's never been Stouffer's stovetop stuffing. It's always been Kraft, which I find a little odd. Probably probably a little cons- like frustrating at sometimes. So it's frustrating, and when I talk to other people about Stouffer's stovetop stuffing, that was what they thought too. I've asked friends, and it's odd. Number two, um, I'm gonna have to say, "Life is Like a Box of Chocolates" by Forrest Gump in the movie Forrest Gump. Um, this one I was affected by because my dad, that was his favorite movie. He resembles Tom Hanks a little bit, and he's silly. So that was his favorite movie, and he would always say that in Forrest Gump's voice. Never forget it. Um, So now it's never been life is like a box of chocolates. Life was like a box of chocolates, which I would have. I can distinguish the two. I'm pretty well educated, but I can, from what I remember in my memory watching it and hearing him, if you, I mean, so number 3 would be the village people. Um, I remember there being 5 total people in the village people band when I was in middle school. There was a talent contest going on, and this talent contest ended up happening not during the school hours, but at night. So there was a big crowd. Everybody's parents came, and my group for this talent show was we had 5 guys, including myself. So me and 4 other guys, 5 guys, and we all dressed as everybody else, everybody in the band. The construction guy, Indian, police officer. I know there was 5. I can't remember off the top of my head. But you hear what I'm saying, though, is I remember 5 people. What I don't remember is an army man. I clearly don't. I can specifically recall none of us were dressed up as an army man. And if it was always 6 people, we would have had another guy in that audition. And right now, I'm just kind of winging it right now. This is my first video on it, so I'm just shooting this because it's been on my mind, and I've been kind of just struggling to find people that understand what I'm talking about. I have one friend that I can talk to about this. He's experienced some of the things that I have. The Star Wars one, Star Wars Mandela effect, where Darth Vader doesn't say, "Luke, I am your father." It's been changed to, "No, I am your father." The JFK assassination is another one I remember in school growing up. I even believe the first time I saw it was in 5th grade, out of elementary school, of course. That's a little early to show kids that. But anyways, currently in this timeline that I have shifted into, the kids that starting intermediate school, getting out of grade school, the first time they watch that clip, because it's pretty iconic, a pretty important part of our history. It's really important. That's why I'm kind of just trying to, I'm kind of polarized, because the kids now that are going to see that for the first time, and every time for here on out, they're going to see 6 people in the car that JFK was shot at. So they're going to see 6 people, and that's the way history in this timeline always was. And unless it gets changed again, it's going to be 6 people. Lizard. But the first time I saw it, and every time, the clips that I saw, I only saw a total of 4 people in the car that JFK was shot at. Him and his wife, driver and the passenger, which is what I remember. But if you look at the clip now, there's actually a 3rd row, but it's right in the middle. It's the middle row, so there's 2 more people in the car. So which brings the total to 6 people were in the vehicle, including JFK and his wife, during his assassination. And I find that weird because I saw this image of this of this car in a historic museum, JFK assassination. They put a little thing up for it, but what they did was it was either the act it had to have been a model after it because there's no way they could get their hands on it on the actual car. But in this museum, their um, JFK section, whatever you would call it, I don't care. Anyways, his section, they actually built a car as a replica of the car that he was in during the assassination. And in this museum, it's what I remember it. It had to have slipped through the cracks or something and have not been affected by the Mandela effect on this one. But the car in this museum that I saw a picture of is exactly like I remember, where it was just a 4-seater car. It was it was a 4-seater car. And there's no way I can confuse a 4-seater and a 6-seater car. It's just a little odd. But I'm gonna wrap this up. Just leave your thoughts. I mean, it's bizarre, and the main reason I'm posting this video is to try to just have assurance that, look, you are being affected because I am as well, and I remember what you remember, exactly how you remember it, which is weird to think. But yeah, it's a phenomenon, and through my research on more enlightened topics, more important topics other than a Little Mermaid remake, things that actually matter to your life. And just, I want your thoughts. If any of those effects I just rattled off sound right or wrong to you, I want to know. Like, it's awesome hearing people talk about this kind of stuff other than you know, Little Mermaids. So y'all stay safe when shifting realities, and I pray that I get the answers I need, and I pray that you guys get the answers you need too. So until next time, peace.